Cozy G. Yo, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So I came across this video and the title, I thought to myself, happy days. Like, it's happy days, like fantastic happy days. Because this is someone, yeah, who basically took the mick out of everyone. Like, especially like Christians. His music videos were blasphemy upon blasphemy, and I'm glad that he's just destroyed his life, because that's what happens, that when you take the piss out people's faith. You know, you should never be taking the piss out people's faith, man. Faith is sacred, you know what I'm saying? So, like, there's certain things that you can play with and there's certain things you can't. And religion, I believe, is one of them. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it, because I know I'm going to enjoy this one.
Lil Nas X was just arrested in Los Angeles, ended up in the hospital, and then got booked for hitting a police officer.
Good.
Early Thursday morning, police received reports of a man walking around Ventura Boulevard wearing nothing but his underwear and cowboy boots. And obviously, as we now know, the man was the popular musician Lil Nas X, known for his hit Old Town Road, which basically became the most famous kids song in a while. And
Wait. Did this guy just say the most famous kids song? Bruv, Old Town Road had nothing to do with kids, but it had to do with... Bruv, what's wrong with you, bruv? If anything, Old Town Road was it should have been the anthem for that movie, Brokeback Mountain, bruv. What are you talking about, bruv? But I'm going to let it slide, because I like you, I told you, okay? You didn't know any better, okay? Probably just a slip. I'll allow it.
Making every kid's favorite song in America with a whole plethora of controversial social media stunts that kept him relevant. Because he had this massive kid audience, and then he started doing stuff like putting real blood in shoes he sold, and then lap dancing the devil in music videos, and so on and so on. Those are the first two that came to mind. But because of those past social media stunts, people are now asking, hey, was this a real breakdown, or is this another attempt at headlines? What's going on here? Well, let's get into it.
Oh, so don't tell me that.
Morning, multiple videos began surfacing online of him wandering around the streets of LA. He was singing, taking off his shirt, and even put a traffic cone on his head.
Has he lost the plot?
Like if he was filming another music video, except the backup dancers are police officers, and the special effects, they're all in his head. Speaking of police officers, though, reports say that when they actually showed up, he charged at them, with one officer claiming that Lil Nas X even punched him in the face. So I don't know if that's the best way to restart the career, but hey, Public Information Officer Charles Miller said that upon arrival, the suspect charged at officers and was taken into custody. He was transported to a local hospital for possible overdose and placed under arrest for battery on a police officer. So after a few hours at the hospital, once they realized he was physically safe to transfer, they moved him to Valley Jail in Van Nuys. Officially, he's been booked on misdemeanor charges for obstructing an officer and suspicion of battery. As of now, he's still being held. Now, this whole situation isn't just coming out of thin air. A few months back, Lil Nas X actually told his fans that his life had been pretty difficult in the last couple of years.
Hey guys, don't look at my furniture-less house, but I want to say, because I don't want you guys to feel like I'm being flaky and very all over the place, but I was for a long time, you know. These last few years were pretty difficult for me. They have been pretty difficult for me, and I'm just now like arriving to this place of feeling confidence in myself and what I'm doing, and I'm trying to make sure I put intention towards my music and my vision and the creativity of it all. And most of all, I really want to make sure I have fun this time around. I don't think I got to have as much fun during the Montero era, because I was more overly focused on, I don't know, making sure the songs did well.
He said he's been losing confidence, struggling with mental health, and that his last music era drained him so much that he just wants to make it fun again. And honestly, yeah, degrading yourself on camera for millions of people to see is not good for your mental health. So I definitely see his point here. But he's also been open about how he's coped. smoking a lot, using psychedelics, and dealing with hypochondria after his grandma passed in 2018. And that's basically where you're afraid that you are sick or will die in some way. And I think this is a little bit common because I struggle with this as well, but it comes in waves with me because I think it's some trauma response, because I've had a handful of friends my age just pass away recently. So essentially you do the, oh wait, what's that weird feeling I have? Oh wait, why is my heart racing suddenly? Wait, why am I breathing like that? And then you Google it, and then Google's essentially like, yeah, you're gonna die. And then
stop fighting,
you're like,
okay?
oh now, obviously, that's an exaggeration, and in most times you're
Baby, he
completely
doesn't wanna
fine.
play.
But if you mix that
Baby.
whole charade with
He doesn't
God
wanna play,
forbid,
baby.
any psychedelics or anything else, that's a bad
Come.
cocktail.
Come,
it's safe to say you can easily spiral on
baby.
that. And not to mention, earlier this year, he landed in the hospital after part of his face literally
give me
stopped
cuddle.
working. But he later said that was temporary, but still, that's pretty alarming
Baby.
considering he's only 26 years old. So yeah, behind all the outrageous headlines and troll-level stunts, there's clearly been a lot going on with him, and it's very possible that it was just a breaking point as well, or maybe even a cry for help. But here's where things get a little bit complicated, because people aren't fully convinced that this was a psychotic break. It's not exactly...
Nah. If it is, yeah, then like it's one of those ones where, you know, when you take the piss out of people's beliefs and all of that, you think things are just gonna be normal for you. No. Karma is real. Karma is all. Listen, I saw Karma in the corner, yeah, sharpening her nails a few times. And when I ask her, what you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just getting ready for somebody. So you need to be careful of Karma. Because when she comes, she will come. Pause. But get it. So like, you put blood in trainers and you sell 666 pairs. Yeah? And then you got Lucifer's, like devils and whatnot, yeah, in your music video. And then you try to portray yourself as like Jesus, yeah? And it's like, what's wrong with you, bruv? Like, do you really expect to have a normal life, like, when you're doing all this blasphemy, bruv? All of this, bruv. For what? And you expect to be normal? Nah, man. Nah, bruv. Like, jinns are real, you know? Like, jinns are real, bruv. And possession, like, people getting possessed, that's a real thing, bruv. So, congratulations, Lil Nas X.
News that Lil Nas X has a long history of turning controversy and taking that and turning it into, you know, streams on his music or plugging his new project, essentially. Because as I mentioned to some of the stories earlier, you have the Satan shoes. I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but Lil Nas X, he dropped a handful of sneakers with a company called Mischief in 2022, where essentially they dropped actual human blood in 666 shoes, which they then sold. And Nike actually sued them for this, but they sold out in less than a minute. And if I remember correctly, the YouTuber Justin Wing, I think, got a pair.
I just Lil Nas X, and I have good news and bad news.
The good news may be that the Old Town Road performer is getting a lot of attention lately. The bad news could be that some of that attention has been controversial and has even led to a lawsuit. 21-year-old rapper Lil Nas X timed the release of his newest video with the launch of a pair of sneakers, and both have made headlines.
But here he essentially created the most controversial merch drop in history. And of course, you also have the Montero video where he pole danced down to hell and gave Satan a lap dance. And that outrage turned into streams, and boom, one of his biggest hits were born. And then, of course, he had his fake pregnancy photos, which were just full-on maternity shots, belly out, flowers, everything. And the internet, as usual, was very split on that. Some people were outraged, some people were laughing at it, other people were like, bro, what are you doing? And then you also had the whole J. Christ rollout where he used crucifixion imagery to once again promote his music.
Disgusting.
And because of, you know, what he did there and his past music, that pissed also a lot of people off. But it kept his name relevant, and therefore that led to streams. Now you have this whole pattern of Lil Nas X. He doesn't just drop music, he drops chaos and then follows it with music. So basically his branding was weaponizing shock, which brings us to now. half naked on Ventura Boulevard, cowboy boots on, charging at cops like it's some kind of GTA side mission, then ending up in the hospital for a possible overdose before getting booked. Did this really happen, or is this another stunt? Now, the first thing that's a little bit interesting is all of these images and clips.
Everything for attention, bro.
Every other news outlet I'm seeing cover this hasn't been able to get a response from Lil Nas X or his team, and that could be because he's laying low, but I kind of doubt that. Also, anyone else notice how fresh his shoes and underwear are? Like, if someone is like ODing and like fully wiling out, are your underwear and shoes that pristine? I don't know. Like, for someone who is completely losing it, he looks very well put together. But I mean, on paper, it looks like a meltdown, but with Lil Nas X, you never really know. Because here's the thing. The line between personal crisis and performance arts, that's always been pretty blurry. I mean, is this just his own version of trying to fabricate Britney shaving her head? Because I mean, if you look at some of these clips from TMZ, it looks like he's singing to a camera.
This news comes after Lil Nas completely wiped his Instagram August 19th, before posting a series of cryptic pics as well as teasing snippets of several unreleased songs, with one of the posts including a selfie of the 26-year-old wearing a fur coat, cowboy hat, and bright red lipstick with the caption, "Oh no, she's gone mad. Crazy, I tell you."
Again, it's hard to say, but currently, Lil Nas X is being held without bail. And no, that doesn't mean the judge decided he's a supervillain who can never leave jail. It's actually just really odd that he's not offered bail. In fact, Orange County has this like zero bail policy where most people with low-level charges, they just get released right away. He'll have to wait until his first court appearance.
Keep him in there.
25th,
throw away the
judge
key.
Will take a look at the whole situation and decide bail, release with conditions, or keep him in. Again, this is pretty odd. So either something fishy is happening here, or this assault on an officer was actually pretty serious. Now, let's talk the charges, because this menu is not short. The big one is battery on a peace officer, and here's the kicker. It can either be a slap on the wrist misdemeanor or felony with up to 3 years in prison. So, pretty wide range there. Depends on whether anyone actually got
Give him the 3 years with the felony.
Resisting arrest, which is usually a misdemeanor worth up to a year in jail. But
give him that one. Give him a year.
Treated it too similar to a WWE match, they could bump it up to resisting an executive officer by force or threats, which can hit either as a misdemeanor or a felony. And let's not forget assault on a peace officer, public intoxication, or even under the influence of a controlled substance. All of them. If hospital tests come back
felony. Give him felony
ones. Not on the table though is indecent exposure, because as wild as white underwear and cowboy boots look on Ventura Boulevard at 6 in the morning, it's technically not illegal, and honestly definitely not the worst thing that you've seen on Ventura Boulevard. Also, it's odd to me that people in LA called the cops on something like that, because there's definitely bigger fish to fry. Now, obviously, the bigger problem here is running at the cops like you're in some linebacker tryouts for an NFL team. Just trying to visualize this whole situation, it just seems like a fever dream. So yeah, bottom line, Lil Nas X is stuck in jail until Monday. Then a judge decides whether to cut him loose or make him sweat longer. If this stays at misdemeanor level, he'll probably get treatment, probation, and some kind of like diversion program. But if the DA decides to push the felony button, he's looking at some real time. And I'm really not trying to be insensitive.
Push it real good.
Reading a lot like brand promo, but like there's no proof of it, so I'm kind of stuck in between here. And obviously, if this is not a stunt, then it's just kind of heartbreaking, because he has been open about mental health struggles, self-medicating, and even dealing with partial paralysis earlier this year. Maybe this was just a really bad night and he really needs help. But history tells us one thing. Lil Nas X, he thrives on headlines. Doesn't matter if it's sneakers, music videos, handcuffs. Chaos is definitely a part of his marketing plan, and if he really does drop new music after this, well, don't say I was surprised. But hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like.
Yeah, this guy, I hope, yeah, the judge says, yeah, nah, fuck that. I'm pressing that felony button. Press it. Give him 3 years, 1 year. Give him years, man. We don't want to see this guy come out of prison. We don't want to see him. Okay? We don't want to see this degeneracy. We don't want it. We don't need it in our lives. Out with the brain rot. Out. We don't want it. Okay? And he deserves it. All the things he done to Christians, like, it's like, yes, you deserve it. You deserve it. And if he does have mental health issues, Yeah, I hope he does. Like, I genuinely hope he gets help for that, for the mental health issues. If he does have mental health issues, and it's not just a way to promote his fucking new album or whatever it is that he's trying to release, bruv. If he does have mental health issues, I genuinely hope he does get help for that. But if it's just another fucking a promotion stunt, I hope they throw the fucking keys away, melt the fucking lock, yeah, and then fucking bury the whole jail cell under a fucking 6 feet molten lava, bruv. Like, he doesn't deserve to come out for at least a good 20 years. Like, 25 years. Give him a life sentence. Fuck it. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Hasta luego.